We are live. Hey, everybody, give me a couple of minutes. I'm going to share this out. Let me see. Boo, boo, boo. Okay, we are live. Hey, everybody, this is Rashida here. Happy Sunday evening. And most of y'all already know I don't be trying to do nothing on a Sunday evening. Y'all already know. But I'm here because those that haven't been watching, if you were on YouTube, you know I've been gardening. See, I've been watching all these gardening videos. And so y'all know me, I'm always making new friends. I'm always making new friends. And so tonight I decided to chat with one of my favorite YouTube channels to watch. And I like CiCi's channel. Her name is Cynthia. She is from Texas, the great state of Texas. I have family in Texas, y'all. And the name of her channel is CiCi's Texas Garden. So I figured we'd come on, chit chat a little bit, laugh and kiki a little bit, just for an hour, just something simple so you can relax. So go ahead and join us. Grab you some popcorn, a little water, or a notebook even, because we might suggest something you might want to try. But I want you to help me welcome CiCi from CiCi's Texas Garden. Let's give her a hand.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Thank you for answering. All right. Now, did you figure that? Did that thing pop up for you to stream again?
In the
Y'all, this is my
corner.
first time doing this. So if y'all watching, you know. I am live on my pages, so I'm not sure if it show up on yours.
Okay,
I was hoping the tag would do that for you. But
it may.
let's see.
Let me see my phone.
Make sure the volume is down. All right. I see us.
Okay.
So while she's doing that, you guys, while she's doing that, listen, I know y'all used to a certain type of content from me. And yes, I still love Jesus. Yes, I still preach. Yes, I still teach, but we go in the garden.
Whoops.
Okay, I love the garden. The garden just gives me a place to go and just not think about all the stuff. Not think about all the stuff. And so it is a safe place. Oh, let me go back to my comments. If you are on Facebook and you are watching this live, you have to give StreamYard permission to share your comments so we can see them in StreamYard. Okay, so you have to go to StreamYard. It's going to ask you for permission. If you don't want to go through all that, just come on over to YouTube. Channel is Rashida Monique. Go ahead, click it. Say hey to me. Say hey to CiCi. Let us know you're there. If you have any garden questions or little curiosities as to why in the world would when I always get deep for no reason. When God has delivered us from the cotton field where black people want to go back and dig stuff up and grow it from scratch. Listen, we've been farmers all our lives. Long before the cotton field, okay? And how you think we ate as a continent? Okay, all right. I'm just saying. As a people. All right, CiCi, are you ready, child? Are you
Yes.
ready? Did you text your best friend and all them telling you was on?
The funny thing, my friend is on a live herself. she she had she called me and she was like, "Hey, girl, I'm gonna be on a live at 8." And I was like, "Oh, so am I." I was gonna tell you to come support me. So
That's funny. That's funny. Best friends are supportive. I did that earlier. My best friend won a baking contest actually in the
cool.
German chocolate cake category. She was first place. So I
Oh
was excited about that.
wow. So was it like at a fair or where was that at?
Actually, it's a local. She's a food blog actually, and she put on a baking contest. and it was
Okay.
her first one. I'm like, girl, you need to. It was nice. They had like snacks, and you could
Hmm.
pay to vote or just come. And then after the judges and the voters got their
Hmm.
pieces of cake, whatever's up, they let you get one and
Right.
taste it or whatever. So it was
Right.
good. And it had
Okay.
had a comedian and drawings and stuff. It was nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So CC. Oh,
Yes.
let me get my questions, Gary. Let me get my question. If you ain't noticed, I'm silly. I am silly. I love to laugh.
So do
And
I.
well, that's good. Um, girl, I lost you. That's funny. Am I still on camera?
Uh-oh. Yeah, you're still on camera.
Okay. No,
Don't put me backstage.
I was like, wait a minute, everything went and it went. Okay, here we go. Cece from
Yes, ma'am.
Texas.
Yes.
Introduce yourself, girl. Tell us something about yourself.
I am Cynthia, but I go by CC on my channel. And apparently, even though I introduce myself and I'm like, hey, I'm Cynthia, welcome to CC's Garden, everybody's like CC. So I got that name from my grandbaby. That's what she called me. She's
Aw.
2, and she called me CC. And so that's why I decided to, name my channel that, because I definitely want to have her in the garden and just, from a little young age to learn how to do everything that, we have to learn over when we get adults. But anyway, I am in Texas. I am in southeast side of Houston. So if you ever come to Houston, I'm on the southeast side of there. Um,
I got
and oh, you do?
yeah.
And so I'm in zone 9A, which means pretty much we can grow all year long. And so something we can grow, you know. And we have been this week have been in the 90s in October, y'all. But the 90s is much cooler than the 100 and something we've been having throughout the summer. So, we in our little cool front.
True, true, true. So that's something to know.
Yes.
Once you compare it to 100, yeah, I guess 90 is all right. 112. Oh my goodness.
Right. Right.
Okay. So this is a when, how, and why did you start gardening?
Okay. Well, I started about 7 years ago. I started doing just patio gardening. So this past 2 years now, I've been doing in ground. But before then, I did container growing. I was at apartments, so before I moved to back home, and so I always grew in containers. And so that is still my passion, my love to grow in containers, because you can kind of control how your plant grows. And so I started that 7 years ago in containers, and just to try it out to see if I can grow stuff. And stuff in the stores wasn't as expensive as it is now, but I just was curious to see. I'm like, okay, they got these pack of seeds from the dollar store. Let me see if I can actually grow something. And so I put it in there. And I didn't know the difference between determinate and indeterminate with tomatoes. So I don't know if you do or not.
I
But
do now.
yeah, see, I learned when I had like these tall tomato trees, and I'm just like, this thing is getting bigger and bigger. It's passing my balcony. It's going up to the people upstairs. I'm like, I'm sorry, my tomatoes coming up there. So then I learned between determinate and indeterminate. I'm like, okay, container, determinate. I didn't be determinate. So yeah. So it was just a fun experiencing and seeing me actually grow some stuff. One of the things that I grew was pineapple. And that was exciting because I just, took the pineapple from the store, took the top off of it, peeled off the bottom little leaves of it, put it in a little water to let the roots kind of, grow out, put it in the dirt. And I mean, it takes about 2 years, 3 years before you get a pineapple. But I love like evergreen, anything green. I wasn't so much into like flowers and stuff.
Hmm.
Now I'm learning I need to be, but I wasn't.
Right.
And so like I loved like rosemary and things that just stay green all year long, they didn't die out. And so the pineapple, it was doing wonderful on the porch. So it was just, this big pokey thing, just getting bigger and bigger. But then it started growing actually a pineapple. And I tell you what, it is the most sweetest pineapple that the store can't even compare.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then after that initial like 2 to 3 years on that pineapple, you'll get one every single year.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow.
So that's just motivated me and just watching things grow. So
That's amazing. That's amazing. So over 7 years ago, that first thing that you grow is always like the best
hmm
thing.
hmm
Um, and so I was wanted to say that when you start gardening, it's like you're just so amazed at everything. You really
hmm
notice everything.
yeah.
So let's talk about the flowers. I guess I sort of want to this is not on my list. So
Hey,
I apologize.
we're going with the flow. What?
But you said that you were thinking about flowers, but now you are. And I know you shared something in your last video about why you need flowers. Do you want to share and talk
Yes.
about that?
Yes. Um, it's like I've never been, how some people love a beautiful flower arrangement sitting on their, kitchen table. And I just never was, that type of girl that, don't bring me flowers, bring me something to eat.
Right.
And so I wasn't so into flowers, but I learned that I'm like, okay, I'm seeing all these people having their gardens growing and they have all this stuff producing. And I'm like, what is it about their garden that I'm not doing with mine? Well, then I noticed they have flowers everywhere, you know? And I'm like, oh, so feed the pollinators. Then
Hmm.
they're going to sit up there and, give you, they're going to do all the work for you. You don't have to sit up there and hand pollinate a lot of stuff because man, I was out there trying to hand pollinate this one and that one. And as soon as that one opened, I'm like, hurry up, I need. So having flowers there, regardless if you like them or not, the pollinators, the butterflies, the bees, the wasps, the all the things that come and crawl on it, even the ants pollinate your garden because they're walking, crawling through the pollen. They go into another plant flower. So they're pollinating as well. And you need that unless you want to do all that work for yourself. And it's some work.
Nah, I ain't doing that. I was just like, nah, I ain't doing all that. Yeah, and flowers give you a beautiful aesthetic.
It
It
does.
breaks up the monotony, especially in the fall. You don't have the
Yes.
color of the tomatoes. Well, I still
Mhm.
do because I have one cherry tomato plant that I just haven't taken down yet, and I'm like, I don't even care. Ain't got time for you. But we don't have the color for that. The color from the eggplant, the color from the yellow squash greens.
Yeah.
So we miss that color this time of year.
Yeah.
What was one of the most amazing things you experienced or learned from gardening?
Amazing experience. Well, I I'm gonna tell you this year, um, I started considering myself a farmer instead of just a gardener.
All
And
right.
so how that's even though I still say gardener, but I'm like, oh, I'm a farmer now because I grew potatoes and I had never grew potatoes, never thought about growing potatoes. And I was able to get a harvest of potatoes, which was me. I'm the type of person like anything that's underground and I can't see it. I'm like, is it growing? I know I'm supposed to have some faith and believe that faith like potatoes, like the movie, but I'm like, I want to see, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna trust it. They're like, nope, wait until the, flowers. I mean, not the flowers, but the greenery die down and it looks like it's dying. And that means the potatoes are growing underneath. And I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, patience, learning, definitely patience with that. But um, yeah, harvesting my own potatoes was just like, oh my gosh, I am a farmer. No, nobody have to say I am. I feel like I am now.
You are. You are what you say you are. In
Right,
this aspect, you are. You are a farmer. You grow your food and you eat it.
right,
And when you
right.
don't grow it, you feel the consequences thereof.
Yes, yes.
That's funny. One of the reasons I started gardening was my dad always had a summer garden.
Oh,
So I in the summer always knew that I didn't have to buy cucumbers, tomatoes, collards, mustards, turnips, and cabbage. I already knew. There's some things I did not have to buy. Then my parents got older. He stopped gardening. I said, "You just ain't gonna garden." And I moved into an apartment and they had garden beds out there. Like right behind my building, the garden beds were situated. And I was like, hmm, maybe I should try this. And
wow.
that's what I did. I rented them. They were like, at the time, they were $20 for the summer. You can plant from May to October. So I was like, cool. Put stuff in the ground. Things was growing. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Because you put zucchini in the ground and when it's hot, it grows overnight. I mean, like seriously, overnight. And I was so excited. But now that I have left the apartment building, not realizing that they were amending the soil and testing the soil and fertilized, did all the things because we weren't
Wow.
allowed to use fertilizers. Then I got up in
Uh-huh.
here in my first garden. I was like, this is crap. Yeah, I got to weed this and the stuff ain't growing and what in the world? So last year my garden just went. I was like, you know what? I ain't got time to deal with you.
Oh. Did the weeds take over?
They took over. I let them
Oh.
take over. They took over, girl.
See, that was one of my things when because I moved back home now 2 years ago in September made 2 years. And my mom used to garden a little bit, just I didn't really realize how she gardened. She's like, the type of gardeners that just throw some seeds out there and the garden just take care of itself and it grows. That's how my mom was. I didn't realize she was like that type of gardener, but things grew. She just like prayed over it. Hey, it's gonna grow. And so when I moved here, she was like, oh, you ought to, the ground is good. You ought to start a garden. And I'm like, oh, I've only done container garden. I never did in ground gardening because that's a whole different level.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it. Giving me all this encouragement. I'm like, okay, I can do it. So before I did all this research about how to not have weeds in your garden because I was like, I cannot deal with weeds and having to, because I got back issues. I'm like, I cannot be out there picking out weeds and all that kind of stuff. So I need to figure out how to not have weeds in my garden because I seen so many other channels be like, the weeds took over, that's it, it's gone. And I'm like, no, after all the time you worked on it. So anyway, so I researched and found out how to, put the cardboard down and mulch it and do all this stuff to keep from having weeds. And so I was very productive with that. And I mean, honestly, I have to say, I have not had like no weed issues since I've had that bed.
That's good. That is so good.
But because I laid the foundation when
Mm-hmm.
I started my garden, I cleared all them roots. I dug into that soil, all that.
Well, well, my mom was like, I can call so and so, and he said he'll plow. He said she said he'll plow up the space for you. I said,
Uh-huh.
cool. Um, and I'm like, okay. Um, she called me. She said, oh, he plowed it. You just gotta come plant in it. I'm like, okay, girl. I ain't come to put nothing in that ground for like probably a month.
Oh,
And when I got there, I was like, oh, okay. And I'm thinking he tilled the soil and then made the rows, but it looked like he just made the rows. And so it
oh,
started, everything that he tilled up started to grow back. So I'm pulling stuff and putting stuff in the ground.
oh gosh.
It was the best. And then it was so much going on. It's like, it was over here. where I moved to, but then I was living like 20 minutes away. So I already
Mm.
know commuter. I want to come over here every day. I want to come over every day. You know, it was just a whole bunch of mess. And so the weeds took over, and I just said, you know what? Forget it.
Oh.
So, but you know what? That's the best. I think one of the best thing about container gardening, though, is you don't have a lot of weed pressure outside of the things that sort of kind of blow in there and try to take root.
Mhm.
But you can
Mhm.
just like take it out, and it's like,
Yeah.
cool, cool.
Yes.
So yeah, now I know that when I want to do in ground, it's gonna take a little more work.
Yes.
Next year, the plan. Shelly said, can I am girl, I always mess up your Shelly said gardening is a daily chore. It is.
It
It
is.
is a
Mhm.
full-time job. I don't know why somebody mentioned this on a podcast somewhere, they want to change the narrative to people just being a gardener, just being a farmer. We provide food. Like we like we are the people that can feed people if something
Right.
happens. And
Yeah.
so it takes a little more work. But next year, the
Mhm.
plan is now this is what we said as a family. We're gonna see if this happens.
Okay.
We gonna the where I have my garden beds now that my dad said we're gonna plow it all up. He said, cause I watched your seed hauling. If you gonna plant all that stuff, you're gonna need some room. And I'm like, Rashida, did you even have this in you to do all this?
You do. You do.
And then so when I have one of my god sisters, she was like, oh, whatever you want me to do, I'll help you. She loves to grow stuff. Her family has a land that they grow things on. So it's like,
Okay.
okay, well, we're gonna try it out. We're gonna see what happens. But it's an exciting process. It's an
Mhm.
exciting process. But I promise you, next year, when that ground get tilled, we're gonna be putting down some weed paper. Cause let me tell you,
Yes.
this girl ain't about to do back, knee, hip. Nope, I can't do none of that.
See.
I can't do none
Mm-mm.
of that. Let me tell you.
Mm-mm.
I'm about to be 49, not 19. I can't do all that. Oh, um, let me see. What is your least favorite thing about gardening? Is it weeding or is it something else?
No, it's well, not the
Snake.
weeding. Um, I think for me, it's it's kind of, I say the least favorite, but I still like kind of doing it. Is watering the garden.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know it's better to hand water it with the, natural rain water and stuff. But sometimes I'm like hauling that water back and forth. I don't have like I have some buckets on the side of the house that catches the rainwater. But I have to, with my two little jugs I have, go over there and take it and haul it back and forth. And then by the end, I'm like, I'm bringing out the water hose. I'm sorry. I know it's not the best water for y'all, but goodness, that that hauling back and forth with the water. Now, if it would had some kind of system, I'm thinking of things in the future of how I can have it connected to my rain to a rain barrel, and
Mm-hmm.
like it come through the little what's the little things in the garden where you can
Girl, what they call it? Yeah, the little water thing,
yeah,
irrigation system or
yeah,
whatever.
yes. If I
Something.
can get that some kind of way with a hose to the rain barrel to that and like filter it into the
Mm-hmm.
garden, that would be wonderful. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, that
That's
watering, that hauling the water,
well,
I'm gonna
I'm
say
afraid
that.
Lord give you a good idea because you mentioned that you said I was what you say, a single mother. You said we can do stuff. Is that what you
Oh
said? No, we figure
yes.
stuff out. So
Oh, I
you
will
figure it
figure it out. My kids needed something. Okay, we're gonna figure out how we're gonna
out.
get this done.
Mhm. Phyllis said her least favorite is dealing with the pests, aphids, and cabbage worms.
Oh my
She
gosh.
sent me that picture. Now I know Shelly, so she sent me this picture of that big old hornworm on her tomatoes, and I was like, mm-mm.
This is the first year I've ever well, okay, the reason why this is my first year dealing with hornworms is
Mm-hmm.
because of course I was doing patio at apartments. So we don't have,
Yeah.
there's no other. the hornworms wasn't going to find my tomatoes in an apartment complex somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this year I decided, I'm like, I'm going to grow all these tomato plants. I had like 40 tomato plants. I'm like, I'm going to grow them. Now, I'm not going to say I don't like tomatoes. I don't like raw tomatoes.
Okay.
Like if they cooked or something, but like just eating them off the vine.
Okay.
And so, but I wanted to grow just excessive amount. I'm like 40 tomato plants. Man, them big nasty hornworm. I was like, when I seen it first, I'm like, this is the first thing that was like had me gag. I was like, oh, it's just, I can deal with a lot of bugs and creepy crawlies and all that, but something about that juicy, that worm that you can't tell which side is the front.
Oh, that is hilarious. I never knew anything about a hornworm until I started watching YouTube. And the funniest thing with the hornworm, if you watch Marie from Homestead Heart, she went to harvest her tomatoes. And if you ever watched them, they had rows and rows of tomatoes. And she went to pick her tomatoes, and them worms had eaten up. I don't even know what variety they were. And she was mad. And when she picked the tomato, it was pretty on one side. She turned it had buried a hole, and he was just all in the inside eating. She took this year. She's like, take that, and she cut him in half. And when I tell you, I laughed so hard. She was sick. She said, I can't feed my family if you eating up my tomato.
Yep. Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh. So I had never heard of them, but everybody keeps saying them. I'm like, Lord, I don't want them. I don't want them.
No.
Shelly said her least favorite is she would love to have a rain barrel with irrigation.
Yes. I'm gonna make one. Awesome. I am going to make one.
Yeah, because I know you can if you elevate it, whether it's if it's homemade, you can put the funnel, drill a hole and do all that.
I plan on doing that.
See, my thing is, our plot sits between the two houses, so it's my parents' house and my house.
Mm-hmm.
So even if I had rain barrels on each house, it has to run through the grass and the property. So that means I have to take it up when the lawn man comes. Because the lawn man brings the little boys with him that don't know the difference between grass and stuff growing. And so they cut down my lima beans.
Oh, no.
On the fence. Now, anyway. So it's like, I don't want to do that. And then I don't know. But yeah, rain barrels, watering is one of the tedious jobs. And I didn't do well at it. I did, however, you was talking about how I know the water hose water ain't good for it. Girl, I went and bought an RV filter from Walmart for $19.99 or $18.99 or something like that to filter out chlorine, lead, and all the extras from the city water.
Okay.
And they got that good city water this summer. Because let me tell you what Rashida didn't do. She didn't go get a rain barrel. And I wasn't taking that little 2-gallon over there, and I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Least favorite. Now you mentioned that. I think one of the things that I think that's when I really learned your name. It was a video. It didn't even show your face. Y'all, I saw a snake. Let me show you this. When I looked at that, you chopped that snake up. When I tell you, I was like, okay, she a real one right there. Because let me tell you what Rashida ain't about to do. If I get away from you, I ain't coming back looking for you. You was determined. You was like, where the rest of them? Because I know they in here.
Thank you. Ooh, yes. I got all kind of nicknames from different channels. They like CiCi the Snake Wrangler and the Snake Hunter. And I was it's like that poor garter snake. And I said, no, it got a whole yard it can be in. It do not have to be in my garden. You know? Yeah.
I understand it. That's how I felt about when I planted my garlic. I planted my garlic and everything was saying, well, garlic helps keeps away the pests. And I'm like, oh, cool. I put a little garlic in with my greens because I had 3 different varieties, so I didn't want to plant them together because I want to keep them apart. Put some in this bed and some in that bed. And 2 of the beds I didn't cover. I come back one day to make a video and like somebody said, screaming. I don't even know if I was on video at that time, but I was screaming, "What in the world happened to my?"
What was it?
Somebody said it had to be a squirrel, like digging stuff up, and I'm like, for
Oh
real?
wow.
Our
See,
squirrels just like. I need y'all
see.
to stop because let me tell you, I don't like redoing stuff. So now I have kale growing in with my garlic. It wasn't planted with my garlic.
Oh.
It was over at the other end of the bed, but because the
Mm.
squirrel wanted to do what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
I
Now,
don't know. Did he eat my garlic? I don't know. I might not even have no garlic in the ground over there.
he probably just put whatever nuts that he have, he didn't put them in there,
Girl.
in your garden. I haven't had any one time a squirrel try to come up, like, my garden is fenced in. And because I know we have like rabbits and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Now, when I moved over here, of course, I have my garden dog, and he was apartment dog, but now he's country boy now. So
Mhm.
he, anything that gets in the yard, he just like ready to get it. So we we had a squirrel that was going on across the little telephone wire, the not the telephone wire, the light wire, whatever.
Mhm.
Anyway, it went to our house there, and it decided it wanted to come in the yard. I guess to go to the garden, and the dog had seen him. He was inside, and he was looking. He was like, "Oh, it is a squirrel in the," you know. He want to chase anything that comes in the yard. So I opened it. I was like, "You ready to get the squirrel?" Girl, he ran out there, that squirrel, poor squirrel. Then I felt bad. I was like, oh my goodness, squirrel, get away, hurry up. Because he
He
had
gonna get
him,
you.
he had him cornered up on the, because I have like deer netting or what, around my
Mhm.
garden. I mean, it even can tangle up snakes and that stuff.
Okay.
And he had that squirrel pinned up across there, and it was trying to figure out I'm like, when that squirrel got away, he has never in the
Then he come back.
he has never came back in this yard. He's like, no, I could have lost my life.
See, my thing is, I don't like dogs. Jesus, I don't like animals.
Oh my god, you need something. What you gonna do to protect your garden?
I don't know.
Now, do you have a fence around it or nothing?
Mm-mm.
So you don't have any wild animals that try to get in besides the
Girl, we
squirrels?
got this fat uh woodchuck, whistle pig, whatever he is that he called him. That be around here, but and then yeah, I mean outside the squirrels, we have cats in the neighborhood, but I don't think I've seen them in my garden.
Mhm.
I don't know, but I might have to do something next year once they realize, wait a minute, they keep food over there.
Mhm. Oh, well, that the cats want it as their little potty place. So
Girl, I
mm.
wish. Mm, okay.
Yeah, especially some fresh soil and like some cow manure up
I'm
in there.
gonna take that mug to. Never mind. And I don't know if people would be offended by that. I'm gonna say I'm gonna take that mug to the Chinese food restaurant. They'll be serving him up with some sweet sour sauce.
Dang. I can't do cats. I can't. But I'm allergic to cats, and I'm like, it's a good thing I'm allergic to cats because I'm not a cat person.
Mm, mm,
I
mm, mm,
and the dog is just like no cat can be in the yard, not even step on the piece of grass on the walking on the road. He just like, let me get him. I'm like, he do
mm.
not. Mm-mm.
That's hilarious. Oh, okay. Now we talked about this before we got on. But I'm gonna bring it up. What new foods have you grown and tasted?
Oh, had I grown and tasted?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much I have tasted. But okay, so I talked about with the peas. This was my first year. My mom loves sweet peas, and growing up as a kid, like I feel like I was tortured with them peas, because you couldn't leave the table unless the
Did you finish?
peas was eaten. So I slept many nights next to Mr. Peas in that bowl because I'm like, I'm not eating them, and I'm gonna lay here right next to him, and we're gonna just spend the night together. And so it was traumatic for me, I guess, because I did not ever have my kids to eat peas. Like when I had my own kids, I was like, you will never see a pea in this house. I will never buy a pea. It would not be any in here unless it came in the Chinese food box and had peas and carrots. That's the only
Mm-hmm.
way it's coming in the house, right? And so my mom moving here, she was like, I sure would love some peas, and I'm like, I can try to grow some. And of course, people's like, "Oh, CC, when you grow them, you gotta eat them. Oh, they so sweet, fresh. They so sweet." I mean, I'm seeing people just crunch on these peas in the garden. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna grow these because the girl like some sugar. I'm like, okay, I can do sweets. People sweet is different. You know what I'm saying? When people think it's sweet, don't be sweet. And so I was like, okay. I think it was a short I did of me tasting the pea, and my facial expression had everybody just dying laughing, and they was just like, "This just it was not a good experience with eating the peas, the
I'm
raw.
gonna find that video. I'm gonna find that video.
It's there, and people were like, yeah, because I'm like, I like to try them because it's different from when you get it in the stores and the time it's been set on shelves and stuff like that. And so I have a particular size of pea that I will eat that it does have a little bit of sweetness to it, but it can't be a full size regular pea to eat. And it can't be the under one where it's not even, but it's a middle ground right in there that I'm like,
You gotta be perfect.
it got to be perfect, and I can eat those. And then the dog don't care because he'll eat them. So I'm like, I'll eat the perfect one. You can eat the full cooked one. I mean, not cooked, but the ones he wants to eat more in the garden than. I'm like, look, dude.
Dog a vegetarian.
He want to eat whatever. He's like, oh, we got some snacks. Okay, we're snacking in the garden. So yeah.
Shelly said she loves peas. Thank God. Then she said, Sheeta Boo, you look like you about to barf as CiCi describes those peas. Listen, it's a lot of things that I could tolerate. The only peas I may eat are in a pot pie and in a soup.
See, I can't even do
pot
pie.
I can tolerate them. But sometimes if I ain't hungry and I got the time, I will be eating and pick them mugs right out and they'll be sitting on the side of the plate. I'm not a fan of this pea. The only reason I'm growing sweet peas now is because my dad loves peas. It's one of the vegetables he will eat.
See?
And I promise you, I don't care who comes on my channel and say, girl, you should taste it. You should let me tell you what I ain't finna do. That. I ain't finna do that.
And have you ever ate the yellow wax beans?
No.
I
eat them, but I mean, I want to say I've eaten
them not raw.
Before me to take them off the thing, no, that's something I want to do. Mm-mm. I can do the green beans.
Oh yeah,
I can do the green beans.
I can do green beans, and this is the first year.
Full size pea versus middle size pea. I can't with you, CC. That is.
I'm telling you, it has to be.
Like me and broccoli. I didn't got to this now in my 40s. It started happening in my 40s. I don't like soft broccoli and soft cauliflower. I can eat it raw. I can eat it al dente. But once it gets too limp, it makes me want. It makes me want to actually upchuck. If I go out to the restaurant, I want my lightly steamed, and they bring it to me, and they got that grayish green color. I ain't even eating that. You can take it
back. I do not like raw broccoli. I love broccoli, but it has to be cooked, like sauteed. It might have a little crunch on like the end part, but I like my stuff. No, I like it cooked.
You like yours cooked.
I like it, but not like to the point where it smells. You know how that broccoli, like it just because broccoli will just continue, unless you stop the process, it'll just keep cooking itself to its melt. I don't do that.
Yeah, so it's interesting how we like to eat certain things. Shelly said peas mixed in with your mashed potatoes and some liver and onions. Let me tell you something, Shelly. I thought you loved me. But let me tell you what I don't eat is liver and onions. I cook it for my parents. My mama taught me how to cook it for them. I cook it for them.
I can cook it, but I ain't eating it.
I'm not eating it. It is such a deception. You can fry that liver, make that gravy, put the onions on, and it smells so good. But it tastes like dirt and death, and I'm not eating it.
Not dirt and death.
I'm not doing it.
Oh my gosh, I gotta use that. I love that. Dirt and
It
death.
tastes like, a liver does what it does. It filters, and that's exactly what
Right. What
that
are
liver
you
tastes
gonna eat
like.
the
It tastes like
filter
it filtered
for?
a whole bunch of stuff. And y'all want me to eat it? Nope, I'm not doing it.
Why are you gonna eat the filter that's just like chitlins and all? I can't. People do, but I can't. I don't eat no chitlins
We're going
either.
to move on because in a minute we're going to be.
We gotta aggravate somebody and be like, what is it? Who is these people?
Yeah, they're like, I only gonna talk about food they don't eat. And they're like, yeah, yeah. Yes, because I'm fluffy don't mean I eat everything.
Not
Lori
dirt and
bless
death.
is not dirt and death. I'm done. Welcome, Lori. Ooh-wee.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
that's
so
what.
like, with my greens, the reason I'm so determined to have collards, which is probably the next video that posts, is because I love collards. It's my favorite green. Like you can cook it and it still got a little substance to it. I eat mustards and turnips. But you can have a big old pot. It's like spinach. You can have a big old pot of mustards and turnips. And when they cook, you only got this much.
Yeah. So you have to grow more.
I told Mama, I said, I got teeth. I can eat collards.
See,
I can eat mustards and turnips.
I will eat if it was a pick between mustards and collards, mustards all day long.
Yeah, they're easy. They're simple.
Oh, and they're so quick. Collards take about a year to cook. I'm just like, when this stuff gonna be done? How these hard leaves don't want to get tender?
Let me tell you, I learned how to eat collards a couple of ways on the cleanse that I was on. And so I can eat collards sauteed. I can eat them raw. I can juice them. I prefer them the southern way though. But
now, do you eat salad?
I do eat salad.
See, I don't eat salad.
See, I have spinach. That's why I'm growing spinach.
I like spinach salad, but not any lettuce.
I don't eat a lot of lettuce anymore.
So you eat spinach salad?
Yeah, spinach salad. Okay. I'm gonna do the Swiss chard.
Oh,
I said I was gonna do some romaine for my sister, but it never made it into the ground, so it won't be till spring.
So, have you ate the beet leaves before?
No,
it's good. No,
it tastes like beets.
No,
okay,
no, it tastes like Swiss chard.
I'm gonna grab a couple one day while I'm out there. And
yeah, see what like. I cooked. I sauteed.
I won't do it on camera though.
You don't have to. Just and then let me know.
All right.
Email me and be like, hey, yeah, I sauteed Swiss chard, the beet leaves, and what else? What other kind of leaf? Something else. I think it was a different Swiss chard, the rainbow Swiss chard and the regular and the beet leaves. And it was delicious.
Okay.
Oh, and the mustard greens. That's what it was. I added with
the mustard greens. So
yeah.
You had a little green medley.
Yes.
Shelly said, "No, collards need to be tender. A whole year for collards."
Yes, the whole year in the pot. I'm like, when these seeds cook, mustard.
Add some jaws to the jaws, girl. No, I'll try not to do no pork. To them greens, searing the pan first to get that good grease out, girl. Listen,
you can do some turkey.
You know? Yeah, I do turkey now because I'm trying to listen to my body. Oh. And pork don't like my body. Oh. Or my body don't like pork, put it that way, but my taste buds do. My body don't. It be a struggle in my flesh, y'all. It be a struggle. Oh, wait. So sauteing those spinach, and I'm down with that too. Because I used to didn't eat cooked spinach. Until same thing, doing a cleanse, girl, trying to get this health together. Sauteing it, and putting them in my eggs and making like a wrap or something and all that. So good. But if you want to make your own, I would say go to Starbucks, sponsor, not sponsored. And get that egg white wrap.
See, I don't like egg whites.
Okay,
when I do my eggs, I have my eggs. I know we're not all into food stuff.
Go ahead.
But that's part of the garden.
Well, I mean, if you're growing food.
Right. Like with my eggs, I'm just particular on seeing the egg whites. Now it could be in there. I like scrambled eggs. That's all the
Mhm.
kind of eggs I'm gonna eat is scrambled. I don't want over easy, hard, or none of that.
Uh-huh.
And like when I scramble my egg, I whip it so hard you don't know that it has white in there because I'm like beating the heck out of that.
Okay. Look,
I want it to be all yellow.
that's all right, girl. Be yellow and green. Just whatever your spinach
Right.
in there.
Now, have you grew bok choy and pak choy before?
I did not, girl. I have a whole list that I made
You should.
from watching these people, and I'm like, that is such
Yeah.
a pretty green, but I wasn't growing from seed. I we always bought transplants, so a lot of these plants
Oh,
I never even knew existed. So I started watching
yeah.
all these YouTube channels.
Girl, I love now that I can grow. Spinach,
Proctor.
I have, yeah, pak choy, bok choy, all them choy families, grow them like no problem.
My spinach
But
still
spinach,
this big. I
that's
swear, and
that's
it's
bigger
been
than I
around
ever got.
since September, huh?
I said that's bigger than I ever got. Spinach just does not like. I have been trying in for the past 4 years. I have not been able to grow spinach. I
Mm.
love spinach, but cannot grow it.
Okay, Shelly said turkey is good, but I've learned that the jowl grease help them greens. Sorry, you can't have the pork. Oh yeah, girl,
Hey, you can
it's
put some.
sad.
Yeah,
I'm and she's growing bok choy and tatsoi right now.
yeah. I do bok choy, tak soy, and the other choy. All the choys. I like them.
Yep.
They taste like spinach to
Let
me.
me see. I don't want to get away from my questions. I wanted to I got made a list. I got a
Mhm.
things list. Let me go to my good Evernote. Uh things to try.
Okay.
And I wanted to say things bok choy, pak choy. I forgot to put tatsoi
Hmm.
on here.
Hmm.
Um let me add the tatsoi. But it's a whole lot of greens I want to try.
Okay.
Um I really want to eat more vegetables. I had convinced myself after one doctor's appointment that I could go vegan. That lasted that night.
I wouldn't have been able to leave out the office. I'd be like, no, it ain't gonna happen.
No, it wasn't his idea. It was my idea. I was like, if you just go vegan, you won't even have these problems. If you go vegan, and I'm like,
I'm a meat
and I
lover,
convinced myself.
so
Like, I
mm-mm,
downloaded like how to transition to vegan and all this other stuff,
mm-mm,
and I was like, hmm,
no. In
mm.
Texas, they would have to kick me out if I. We are
Girl,
meat.
let me tell
We
you.
we are meat eaters. If I be like, no, I'm not gonna
Did
eat
I
that.
eat barbecue when I came to Houston? I think I've been to Houston once. I want to
Oh,
say I had barbecue when I came to Houston, but every time I go to Dallas, I ain't been to Dallas in a minute, but I love Dallas and I loves me some barbecue. Like you can give me some barbecue, or we can go up and do like the bougie thing. But either way, I love to eat when I go to Texas.
yeah, yeah.
I love to eat. Oh my gosh. And so and that's what the thing. I want to experience more greens, some more food since I've
Hmm.
seen all these things. And then I want my parents to explore some foods.
Hmm.
Not realizing that as we get older, like my taste buds have changed, so have theirs, and theirs is more like limiting. Like I'm like, y'all want to taste this? Nah, I'm like, come on. Come
Yeah,
on, eating the same thing. But I'm happy
yeah,
about having my own cabbage.
yes.
Um, what are your favorite methods of preserving food?
Uh, well, if it makes it into the house, and I'm not snacking it in the garden, um, um, method. Well, I got a dehydrator. I wanted that for my birthday, so I told my kids I wanted a dehydrator. So they got me a dehydrator, but I haven't dehydrated a lot of stuff. I usually my foolproof method is freezing.
Hmm.
Just putting it in the freezer, blanching it if it's my greens, and then putting it in the freezer.
You so good. I don't blatch a thing.
Yeah, that's what I do.
said that. Well, you know what? Growing up, we used to we used to do this, we used to do that. Let me tell you about Rashida. If I think I can cut a step, I will. I will. And if I tried it before and it worked out all right, because I somebody had brought my mom a bag because my green beans didn't do nothing this year. Like I bought bush beans, not realizing that bush beans wasn't like pole beans. That once bush beans make and it's a whole bunch, you ain't getting no more. You get one or two here, and I'm like, well, dog. So anyway, so somebody brought my mom a thing of fresh beans, and so I washed them and snapped them and put them in the freezer bag and threw them in the freezer. And then I was like, was I supposed to blanch them? We gonna see.
See,
I cooked them yesterday. No, what's today? Sunday. Yeah, I cooked them yesterday. The mugs was good. So
yeah.
you ain't gonna ever worry about me blanching another bean in my life.
Yeah. I don't usually blanch my beans. I usually do more of if it's the, like mustards or something like that, and or broccoli. I'll do that.
I never thought about broccoli, but I know about mustards and turnips. I'm like, you put it in the freezer, they're gonna be super soft. By the time I put them in this water, they're gonna be this big. I'm not worried about it. Okay, so freezing. I have tomatoes in the freezer, and that's my main thing with tomatoes because I'm not making tomato sauce in the hot summer. I'm not doing tomato soup in the hot summer. My tomatoes didn't do much, but I watched J. Morrell Stewart, and she had so much stuff frozen, and then she pulled it out during the winter, and that's when she did her canning. I said, yeah, that's my girl right there. Let's heat up this house when it's cold outside. All right, main method. Okay. What are some of your favorite YouTube channels?
Well, let's see.
I'm gonna let you think. Lori said being vegan is not for everybody. Love vegetables, love gardening, but I need protein and a nutrient dense food.
Yes.
Yeah, I just really need to just up my veggie life and lower my sugar and carbs. I feel like once I do that, I'll be good.
Well, a lot of us would be good if we did it.
I got stevia seeds now. That's why I got stevia seeds. I'm like, girl, this sugar is it's a bear. All right, YouTube channels.
Okay. Well, I just started watching. Since I started my YouTube channel, this one in January, so I've just I feel like if I don't say somebody, they'll be like, "You ain't say much."
Now listen, y'all. But I never realized when you watch this, she on the hot seat. I didn't send her these questions, so she can't make a list of all her favorites, right? This is off top of her head. So charge it to her head and not her heart. Don't y'all go up here and be harassing my guests just because your name didn't get called. Just like the people in church. Listen, get yourself together. Just make sure your name is called.
I have to list my bestie that she would have been supporting me tonight if she on the live herself. So Nicole Smith Gardening, me and her have just hit it off. I mean, and I didn't know her from nobody until, I came across her channel and me and her been like besties, and we like share seeds, and it's fun spending time with her.
I follow her just because you talked about her. Then I watched one video and she said something and I laughed so hard. I'm like, oh, she is super funny.
She is funny, and I'm like, you are my sister that we didn't even know we was like, she's like that. I want to say a lot of channels that I watch, they don't do much gardening as they used to. So, like some people, because a lot of ones I watch have been on YouTube for a couple of years, and then it started doing more of live streams instead of content. So as for content creators, that's what I'm gonna go with. People that are, because if someone sends me to a channel, I want them to have something to go and look at. And because yes, it's good to watch lives, but it's good to also have some content, especially if you want to learn things. So I do have to shout out Broke Farmer. I don't know if you watch him, but yeah, he does really good with showing you how he do things in his garden and what works for his garden,
Right.
And so I would say him. Um, Gina versus Gina. She has an amazing garden. I love watching her garden out there. And now this is a channel that I I watch a lot to give me motivation, even though I'm not on their big scale. Um, but the Veggie Boys, I don't know if you ever seen them, but uh,
Nope, when I'm out to find them.
they are bigger, like a real bigger channel, but it's all about the gardening and what gets you excited about gardening. So I like watching them. Um, the Garden Answer or the Answer Gardener. Have you ever watched the Garden Answer? She does a lot of ornamental kind of shrubs and stuff, but so if you're into that kind of Nicole is really into how to
What's the
make.
name? You said ornamental?
Yeah, oh, her name is Garden Answer.
Garden answer, garden answer. Thank
Hmm.
you.
Well, her name is not Garden. That's her channel name. um uh, that is all I can think like off a hand that really is doing content. But I
Well,
know I miss somebody, y'all.
that's good because one thing about YouTube channels, they evolve. Like I told you, like my channel started with natural hair.
Right.
I met Shelly actually through because of natural hair. And then it was laying dormant for a while. Then Periscope came in. And then I had all these Periscopes, and I'm like, well, what I'm gonna do with my Periscope? So that I'll start moving my daily devotions over to YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And then then live streaming is all the thing. But once the live stream is gone, what you gonna do with your content? So then I just like, well, it's
Right.
YouTube. And then I started gardening. I was like, let's put this on YouTube.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that works. Lori went back to say blanching and freezing is her go-to. She's
Mhm.
been canning okra and tomatoes for almost 2 weeks, about to go in the freezer before they go bad. How can I follow y'all? Now I'm Rashida Monique on YouTube, and then
Mhm.
CC Texas Garden. Just
Mhm.
subscribe and turn your notification bells on YouTube. Now CC is gonna give you a video at least 2 or 3 times a week. I'm gonna give you a video when I get you a video. I'm a content creator, but I'm not content creating. If that makes sense. I'm not. I don't have no brand deals. You just get what you get. God bless you. I hope it, may heaven smile upon you. Shelly said she need to come to your house. So yeah, learning how to can. That's what I want to do. Learn how to can.
I my experience with canning, I just
See, my
it's
dad
just
was
not
like,
my
I'm scared
thing.
of candy. He's always been because growing up, like my parents are in their 70s, right? And so
Mhm.
my grandparents, so he was like, Mama, put that thing on, and if you don't do that thing right, it'll shoot across the room and stuff to blow up and blah blah blah. And I'm like, what?
Them pressure canners back in the day.
Right. And so I
Mhm.
was watching J. Morrell Stewart, Marie from Homestead Heart, Kim for Kim Cozy Corner.
Uh-huh. I like Kim
They all
channel.
do those. They do
Mhm.
canning. I'm like, I think I can do that. Now, I'm not right now where I'm planning to like can 1,000 tomatoes so I can have sauce and stuff through the year yet.
Right.
I'm not at that point yet. But I feel
Mhm.
like you ever make a good pot or something, you're like, that'd be so good
Mhm.
later. It'd be nice
Mhm.
to be able to throw that mug in a jar. Keep
Right.
itself stable. And whenever I decide I want it, I can have
Yes.
it. So yeah. So I like how you broke it down. So you have some people that do a lot of live streams,
Yeah.
and some people that one person I love, because I told you I loved your channel because it's just like really not about the aesthetic and all these different angles and all this other
Mhm.
stuff. I mean, they cute and all, but I'm thinking to myself, you carried the camera from there and carried your container here, then you move the camera over there. I ain't doing all that. Girl, just give me the video. Another person I love is Miss Georgia Peachnut.
Uh-huh.
I love Miss Georgia Peachnut. She had me
Yes.
cracking up. She was like, she's not. I'm tired of these spiders. Why is y'all out here?
Yes.
I love her. I'm like, that sound like me. That sound
Yes.
like me talking to the spiders while I'm on
Mhm.
camera, and y'all gonna
Mhm.
watch it, and
Now,
y'all gonna get it.
that you're saying that,
She
yes,
teaches a
Miss
lot.
Miss Georgia. I love
Yeah.
her channel,
Hmm.
and also is a new lady, and she has really came out. Sweet Tomato Vine Homestead.
Sweet tomato vine. I ain't heard of.
Yes, her name is Miss Linda,
Okay.
and of course, I don't know if you follow Tina, the New Orleans gardener.
Yep. Hmm.
Yeah, but this is Sweet Tomato Vine Homestead, and yeah, I love watching her channel because she's just so down to earth, and she's posts a video every day. You're like, sometimes I'm like, golly, she got it out before I got mine out. And but yeah, she posts a video pretty much every day, and I just love the way she just down to earth when she talking about things, and she's like, you know, if things ain't working out, she'll just say it ain't working out, or let me work on something different. So she's a good one to watch.
That's good.
Yeah.
That is good. Let me see. So we covered YouTube channels. So what are your favorite gardening resources outside of Google? Because I mean, we all Google. I'm like, Google, what's wrong with my collars?
I usually YouTube it. Seriously, like, because I'm like, somebody has been through it.
Mm-hmm.
So I usually YouTube it, or you make friends with people on these different platforms, and so you wind up getting their number or whatever, and you're like, hey girl, have you experienced this, or this is going on with my garden. And so I have learned to either reach out to people or just YouTubing what is going on, so because YouTube is a big search engine as well. So,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
mm,
And that it is.
mhm,
And that it is. Um, I like to go. One of the YouTube channels I like to go to because they're in Michigan is In My Gardener.
mhm.
And because I've known about him for a very long time, like well over 10
Yeah,
years. And when people are educated in the field, and he's really just about the information. It's not just
right,
like
right.
a whole bunch of hype, or when I share something, I'm like, well, I heard somebody else say this because I didn't study this. I'm gonna
Mhm.
share what somebody else said. I'm not gonna make it seem like, oh, I know about gardening, so let me tell you what I know
Right.
and experience and
Mhm.
tried and true. And I feel like he's one of those people that's not just regurgitating something he heard, trying
Right.
to put it as his own content.
Yeah.
And so I like In My Gardener
Mhm.
for that, and his seeds are cheap. Come on. You tell me $2, and then they had 50% off sale. Oh, come on now, you
Mhm.
can't beat $1 seed.
Now, is it cheaper because you're being over there? Is it cheaper with shipping, or it's the
Um,
same as?
Let me look at this. Is this his receipt? Is my receipt from him? Let me see. My shipping on this first order was because after you get so much, I think there is free shipping. Is my shipping
Yeah.
right on here? And my shipping wasn't more than my seeds. I think it was like three something or four something. I don't think I paid more than $4, but I think it just basically depends on where he's shipping it to as well.
Right. Okay.
But his seeds drop in November, so there's just a few seeds that I want to get
Mhm.
that I say I need to grow, but there's a lot on my want to try list.
So, what are some of the things you want to try?
Girl, listen,
I got some stuff too. So,
what you got over there? Don't start. Let me see. Uh Content creation, you get what you get. Yep, exactly. I'm just somebody told me, say, girl, you so real. It don't matter if you got a makeup or not. Y'all see, y'all got garden hair. Like I went out there and fussed with the thing. I didn't do nothing to this afro. Y'all gonna get this afro like it is. Cause this is how you gonna see me out in public. I feel like if you were to be walking down the street and you see me, you'll know who I am because I'm not gonna
same.
present myself in nothing else.
Right. Right.
Lori also said I'm doing a shortcut canning, not old school. Like my mama taught me.
Okay.
I
So,
ain't
like
got
water bath canning.
love the recommendations. Where can I get some good elderberry seeds? Now I'm gonna tell you, I went to True Leaf Market only because they had a lot of the herbs and they had the stevia seed that I wanted, and I got a seed
Mhm.
haul on in here. They had some of the seeds I couldn't find everywhere else. But because I was shopping so late in the season, like I couldn't find sorrel, I couldn't find was it the stevia? I still don't have all my herbs. I think I just have a couple of basils. I know it's like 6 or 7 basils that people are growing. Yeah, she meant water bath canning. Yep.
Okay, yeah.
So let's go here. I don't know how to say it. It's not matcha, but it's the corn salad. They call it corn salad.
Okay.
MACHE. Bachelor buttons, which is
Okay.
a flower. Is it blue flower? That it's real pretty.
Yeah.
Blueberries, fava beans. Because we
Mm.
like beans in our house, just not
Mm.
pea, the sweet pea. Okay, and then the fava beans, they're two type, Windsor and red flowering. I don't remember what the difference was, but I notated it here. Napa cabbage. I want to grow peanuts.
I got some peanuts to
I
grow.
want to grow peanuts. Bok choy, pot choy, tot soy. Morris head collards. And that's from Superhuman. I think that's the name of his. Is it Superhuman? I don't know. Black guy, but I mean, he got collard green leaves as twice the size as my head.
Wow. Okay.
Red Reuben Brussels sprout. Purple sprouting broccoli.
I got some of that planted.
Yeah, I might have got it from you. I don't know. Somebody mentioned it, and I was like,
I don't know. You might have.
And then I went through. I downloaded the free seed guide from Baker's Creek, and they had Thai basil, purple basil, Genovese basil, lemon basil. I had lemon basil, but I let it go to seed. Golden beets, Detroit dark red beet. Now I ain't far from Detroit. I'm like, why I ain't never heard of this? But anyway, purple lady bok choy, top soy, or I said that white and blue borage.
Oh.
I don't know. I want to grow borage, but I heard it's good for your soil. The Waltham 29 broccoli, butterfly peas.
Yes, I got some of them.
Golden acre cabbage, Rober cauliflower, Kyoto red carrot, the Kutiger carrot, the Chinese pink celery, Chinese white celery, Amsterdam celery, slow boat cilantro. I don't eat cilantro, but I heard that certain pests don't like cilantro. So they probably related to me, but I don't want them in my garden. Because I don't like cilantro. Lemon cilantro. Pink tongue eggplant. Goji berry, echinacea, loofah. Is it hands and dirt that just harvested his loofah? Yeah. I was like, let me get some loofah. I want to taste loofah too, because never in my mind. I know they said loofah was organic. Did I know that loofah was a squash? Is it squash?
Yeah, you
never
can
in my
eat
mind
it.
that you could eat loofah until now.
Yeah.
And I was like, how am I 40 and 9? I know earlier I said I was almost 49, but I am 49. I turned 49 a few weeks ago. But anyway, 49 years I didn't know you could eat loofah. And I'm like, oh, okay, let me taste that. Blue kale, dazzling blue kale, Munstead lavender, elegance pink lavender, elegance purple lavender, torch minty ice lavender, lemon ball, lemongrass, Gustav salad, crispy mint romaine, dwarf moringa, oregano. Well, I know what oregano tastes like. I want to grow it. Parsley, parsnip, Craig's Grande jalapeno, lemon spice jalapeno, poblano, lemon drop pepper, sugar rush peach pepper. Thank you for Barbara at Living Food Farms, aka A Gardener's Journey. Sugar rush peach. She said it ain't nothing to write home about, but the fact that it says sugar rush peach, I think I need to try it. Broadleaf sage, strawberry spinach. Strawberry spinach has a green leaf and it has a berry that's reminiscent of a strawberry. You eat the leaf and berry separate. 2 for 1. Why not try it?
Okay.
Thyme, classic beef steak tomato. Oh, that's not to try. I just gotta remember to get some. Chadwick cherry tomato. I don't remember what was special about that. The pineapple tomato and the purple bumblebee tomato. And I think that's done. Now, I know that the pineapple tomato don't taste like pineapple. But when you slice it and you look, it got the little pieces like the pineapple. That was just like amazing to me. But it probably tastes like a regular old tomato though. What you think? Probably.
Probably.
Mm-mm. Shelly says she's going. Okay, let me go back.
Now
Do
I
you
didn't on
have
your list.
huh?
On your list, I didn't hear anything about ground cherries.
I got ground cherries already.
Okay.
I didn't grow them. I ordered the seed though.
Okay.
And you've been excited about it. I said, girl, that's gonna be me next year. You was like, oh my God, they're growing. I was like, yes,
So what
I want
kind you got? What kind did you get? Is it Aunt Molly?
some. Girl, no. Hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. All my stuff is right here, y'all. Okay, just so y'all know, my priorities are so straight. Um, yeah, anyway. Oh, girl, I don't know. Did I put them in here in alphabet? So I bought this little thing. You know how people say you put your seeds in the thing like this?
Mm-hmm.
I put them in alphabetical order, right?
Uh-huh.
I ain't got no labels. So I still gotta put them out one by one. Whatever. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. They might be at Molly's though. Cause that sound familiar.
Okay. I have the pineapple ones.
Oh girl. It's options.
Uh-huh.
Oh
Well, they
Lord.
have the regular Aunt Molly
It might
ground
be in
cherry.
here with the miscellaneous stuff. Cause mama want asparagus. I said, sis, do you know that take several years to get asparagus?
Yep, at least 3 or 4.
I know. Okay. Just want you to know. Cause I can go to Aldi right now and get you some asparagus. You know what? I could have swore I saw it on the thing.
But after you plant those asparagus, if you
Oh,
plant it in ground,
uh,
you will have them for a lifetime. Like they
that's
will
fine.
continuously come up. So,
Hold on. I got some seeds that didn't make it in there. That's why
oh,
I know. My living room is my gardening space, y'all. Um, do you have any recommendations about? Okay, let's go back to the top about peanut seeds. I don't. Do you?
I don't. A lady sent me some, and so I supposed to plant it in early spring, right after the frost.
Uh-huh.
So it'll be my first year planting peanuts. So,
Yeah, this will be my first. I don't know where to get them, but I'll get some.
well, I had someone send me some seeds. That's why I'm like, oh, I guess I'll plant them.
Oh, I guess I'll be eating lettuce this year. At least growing it, I might grow it and give it away.
Right?
Cause I need another side hustle. I got a couple of three, so I could always. Oh, okay. They're not in here. I could swore I saw it on the invoice somewhere. Maybe I don't have brown cherries. I'm putting on here just in case I don't, and I don't want to forget.
Okay. So, do you like pineapple?
I love pineapple.
Okay, then try to get the pineapple ground cherries.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Ground cherries.
They are delicious. Now that is something that I've been trying to bring into the house, but it has not made it.
Mm-hmm.
It just don't. It's a garden snack, and I'm telling you,
Good.
they
Ain't
have
nothing
all
wrong
kind
with
of.
the garden snack though. Why you gotta save stuff for later? You eat it
I
now.
know, but they have some neat like desserts and
Mhm.
some like jams you can do with it,
How
and
many do you need to plant so you can have one to eat? And
I I know. I I planted one and it was my first time. I got the seeds from Gina versus Gina, and it was like maybe this tall, but it gave me some little bitty ground cherries, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is good. So then in August, I was like, I want some more ground cherries. I know it's over the summer, not summer, but we've been having summer temps anyway. But I replanted me some and come up. I have five plants. I gave Nicole one of the plants. Um, but I can't wait to get my seed cow. Oh yeah,
I can't scroll up, so I'm just have to go start
yeah,
there.
yeah. Oh, she growing it.
Yep, the corn match now also had never had it, so we'll see. All right, you have to let me know, Shelly. Red Ruben Brussels. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I had,
Yeah,
Detroit
I
and
got
Greek.
quite I got quite a list here. See, I'm that person when I see something I want it.
Hmm.
So
I'm
like
gonna. I want to grow the Georgia. What is it? Candy roaster. The Georgia candy roaster. I want to grow that. I'm supposed to be getting some seeds in from a person, and these things get like big, and so it's a squash,
mm,
or like no, it's not a squash. It's like a yam, but like a big one.
what's the name of it again?
Georgia candy roaster. It
Girl.
gets really big, and then everybody was growing the kusha squash.
I think I might almost have some seed. I wanted to grow it because I wanted to taste it. I never heard of it.
Hmm. And I got some seeds for some loofah for next year. Um, what else? The butterfly pea. Nicole gave me a lot of those seeds, and so yeah. No.
That's what my daddy said. He said I'm gonna plow all that up. Then I got overwhelmed. But if I'm gonna grow these watermelons like I want, I'm gonna need room.
See.
Strawberry spinach now. Please send me your list, friend. I'll send it to you. I'm saying it's in Evernote. And I'll email it to you. Um Ground cherries. They're not red like cherries, but they call ground cherries.
No.
Yeah.
They're in the tomatillo family. Have you ever grew tomatillos?
I've never grown them, but I've tasted them. A lady at my dad's job sent some.
Mm-hmm.
And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, I think I
The,
can eat these.
how
They were,
did she how did she send it to you? Like,
oh no, but she didn't send it. She brought him to his job and he brought him to his house.
yeah, but I'm saying, how did you eat it? Did you make
Oh, I ate them straight out the bag. So
you
they were
did?
like really tired. Well, right now, no, man, our tomatillos, the big ones, or they were small. These were small. So it reminded me of tomatillos, but they didn't taste like tomatillos. They tasted like pineapple. Oh,
Did
shut
you
up.
eat ground?
They probably was ground cherries.
Yes.
They like them little things. I'm like, but tomatillos, usually green
Or
it.
bigger? Yes.
Yeah,
And they you ate ground cherries. You should have saved some of the seeds. They were
I
good,
didn't know
huh?
what they was.
Yeah, they
And
have a pineapple flavor, but then they got like a texture of kind of like a pear, kind of that. You know what I'm saying? It has that kind of grit taste to them. But yeah, you ate because they're in the same family, so they had the little husk on them, and those were and they're yellow. They're little bitty yellow ones.
last year before last. I don't know how many years ago that was, but he told that woman, "You send it, Rashida can cook it."
Yeah,
And
because
I said, "So, Daddy, what is this?" I don't know. Like,
tomatillos you make salsa with, like the green
yeah,
salsa,
they did salsa
salsa
verde.
verde.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm growing some tomatillos right now.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Tiff. Oh my gosh, that's funny. How do we get way off? Oh, gardener resources. So we said YouTube is a resource.
Hmm.
I watch a lot of YouTube.
Yeah.
I do the Farmer's Almanac here and there. I really just pretty much do. I'll search things out, but
Hmm.
if I can find it on the MSU, the Michigan State University Extension, or in my gardener, I'm gonna go with their answers, even though I might see some on YouTube. Now there's some things I've seen, I tried, I don't research it, but most
Uh-huh.
of the times I'm like, let me go to them because I know they know. Um, tell me something about you not related to gardening.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Well, I'm a single mom. I don't know if y'all know that, but I was a single mom. I got grown kids now, so I said, I should just say I'm a single person. They're like, "You still a mom?" I'm like, "But y'all grown. I don't want to be like."
Yeah.
And I have a 2-year-old grandbaby,
Oh.
and I don't know. I like fishing,
Mm-hmm.
so I like to do that. I did that this past summer. I did a little bit of fishing, and I don't know what else about me.
You like barbecue. If
Yes.
you don't mind meeting new people, because you'd have been 8 million people in Texas over this garden.
I have been meeting, yes, I have been doing definitely the garden meetups with a lot of channels, and so that's been fun. I'm actually next weekend. Hopefully I'll get in someone. One lady, she said she's gonna travel 3 hours to get here to come to our meetup. We are going to be at the, what is it called? It's in Houston, so it's the Mercer Botanical Garden.
Hmm.
They're gonna have like master garden horticulture gardeners there,
Oh
and
wow.
we actually gonna work alongside them. So like closed-toed shoes, your hat, visor, get ready to work and learn stuff as glean stuff from them as you work with them. So you're doing volunteer work, but yeah, so I've had some people to reach out and say, hey, yeah, I want to come and meet up. So that's
Mhm.
been fun. I have been enjoying meeting people.
Oh, that's cool. That is
Yeah.
so cool. I am, was it Black Girls Garden?
Hmm.
Black Women Who Garden? Either way, they've broken everything down by zone, and they're talking about doing meetups by
Oh,
zone. But the first
wow.
poll went out and said, would you mind um a meetup in an off the grid location? Y'all know
Mm.
I'm paranoid, right? I said, no. Y'all gonna get us off there and y'all gonna hunt us or y'all and see if we survive? Well, I don't understand.
Right.
I,
Who is over
I need
this?
more information because I don't know y'all. Girl, I was sitting there and I was like, Rashida, stop being paranoid. I need you to
But you just never,
and so I waited. I didn't answer it first. And then I said it depends. Because that was one of the answers you put the poll, and then more information came up, and I was like, okay, we'll see. We'll see what
Okay.
happens when it gets scheduled. But I don't mind meeting people. But when you start talking about off the grid location as a single individual, let me tell you, you're trying to fight for my life if I ain't got to. I'm already in the spiritual war. I ain't trying to be in no natural one. Let me tell
Right. Right.
you. Oh, so, but that's good. I like meeting new people. The internet has
Mhm.
made has brought my horizons really a lot, as you see with pertaining with food, but in a lot of
Mhm.
different areas, and I've been able to connect and meet with great people such as yourself, and
Yeah.
so it's been a fun time. So, have you met, or do you think you will meet your 2023 garden goals, if you had any?
Um, let's see. I didn't really have any goals set for
That's fair.
2023. It was all about just, I think I'm still in the experiencing of in-ground growing,
Hmm.
you know. I have realized that I won't be doing a winter garden. After last year, I was just like, no, it goes so slow. And I'm like, and so what I did was grew my plants indoors for the spring. 100 and something plants taking up space in my little room, and the lights, having to have the lights on for it, the
Hmm.
grow lights. Well, I use shop lights, I don't use grow lights, but it was just like too much with all that, and then trying to harden them back off to, you know, having them outside and then bring them back in. It's like it was a lot. So I decided that this year I'm gonna do winter sowing. And I did a couple things winter sowed to just see if I could do it, and it actually worked. I was like, because I'm surprised it worked in my area, because it usually winter sowing is for colder areas.
I was gonna say, tell me
But
more.
yeah, but it actually worked even down in zone 9A. We do get into the 30s, not long, but long enough, during that time that I can grow in container in the jugs.
Hmm.
So that's what I did. And it was so simple. It takes care of itself.
So is what is winter sowing then? What did I
Oh, well,
miss?
let me tell you what winter sowing is. I just knew you knew.
Hey, Queenie. Queenie plants gardening. That's another one. Another new garden friend. Okay, go
All
ahead.
right. Um, so winter sowing is very simple. Uh, just a water jug or a milk jug that you can use, or a juice container, whatever plastic container that you
Okay.
have. And you make sure that you have holes at the bottom of it, because it does need to be able to filter the water through. But all you do is cut along the side of the jug. Okay, so this is the handle. So you want to cut from one side of the front of the handle
Oh,
around,
I think I
and
saw that.
yeah, and you put your soil in there. You plant your seeds in there, and you just water it, and you tape it up. You make sure you don't have the lid on there. Don't put the lid on the because even if you in the snow or whatever, you can just leave your jugs out. Just leave them outside. And it's like a mini greenhouse. It tends to itself. And when it snows, then the snow will melt and filter through. And you know, now if you're in a climate where you don't get much water, you might have to, maybe pour some water in the container. But it does its own greenhouse, like a mini greenhouse, and it worked for me. I
Wow.
grew kale in mine and stuff like that, and yep. And so then when the springtime comes, then you just untape them, and you already have your plants that then grew up in this container, and you just plant them out in your garden.
Girl, shut up talking to me. I just, when you start talking about the jug, I'm like, wait a minute, I saw a man do that.
Yes,
I saw him do that.
and it
And I was
works.
like, girl,
It's the like lazy gardener kind of thing, and I want that for the winter
I
time.
want
I
that
don't
for
want
my
to.
life.
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. So it's fair to say that you didn't have any 2023 goals. You're still experimenting,
Mm-hmm.
just really seeing what works for you in your
Yeah.
zone for your space. So do you think you're gonna set any 2024 goals?
I probably will.
Yeah.
Um, and I shouldn't say I didn't set any goals for 2023, because like this fall, I was determined and still am determined to grow as much food as possible that I can pack into my little garden,
Mhm.
because I want to be able to, help others. Because I feel like this fall, winter season, that prices will be up higher. Don't know if that's, but I just have that in my spirit that, you know, I want to be able to help others, you know.
Okay.
So I'm
That's
planting as
cool.
much. I'm dropping seeds constantly. So if you see on my channel, I'll be like dropping more seeds. More seeds I'm dropping. I'm dropping.
And then
I am.
I have to remind myself, Rashida, you not in Texas. You can't. But let me show you. Hold on. This is my bay window. This is what I did Thursday when I didn't think my collards was gonna make it.
You brought them in.
No, I started some fresh ones, some new seeds. If the other ones die, I'm gonna put them in the pot. I don't know how we gonna make it this winter, but listen, I gonna have these collards. You understand me?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, well, you know what? I like the idea of growing as much food as you can. Being able to not just feed yourself, but also be a blessing to somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
My late pastor, his wife, was talking about, she grew up on a farm. Her dad was a farmer, they had
Mm.
cows, they had all the things.
Uh-huh.
And she would talk about how then people would just bless them, or if they had something to give, they weren't really big on money, tithes and
Mm-hmm.
offering, but if they
Mm-hmm.
had something to give, they help the preacher out,
Right.
they bring them a watermelon, bring them some
Yeah.
chicken or something. And people did that in kind. And
Mm-hmm.
so my sister was like, well, you planted all this, what you gonna do with all this stuff? I said, well, girl, if I can't eat it, the saints gonna eat. Somebody, my
Yes.
neighbor, somebody up the
Yes.
street, you hungry, and I ain't got $20 for you, but if you come over here, I got some tomatoes.
Right. I did that with my tomatoes, like them 40 thing
40
40
plants.
plants of tomatoes. I bless my mom's at her church. The elderly there, they was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, thank you for the tomato." I was just loading them up. I was like, "Yep, I got another load here." Send it to them. They like, "Oh, these some fresh tomatoes," and they enjoyed it. And so, I definitely want to have my greens and stuff and all them collards. I got collards growing in swimming pools out there. I'm just like,
Uh-huh.
I'm growing them wherever I can put them in buckets, in the ground, in the swimming pools.
And I was so excited when I saw that swimming pool because I was like, what am I gonna do? I want to do like a wildflower medicinal
Yeah,
garden, but I'm not
yeah,
sure where I want to put it because I'm not sure like the sunlight or whatever. But if I put in something like that,
yes,
I can move it.
you can move it.
And so I'm like,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Mhm.
great ideas. Now,
When I did that experiment, everybody was like, "What? Cece did lost her mind?" Because I was out there. I'm like, "Y'all, I'm
but
just
y'all
gonna
buying
take."
the grow bags and doing the same thing. So what
I
difference?
know, but they was like, growing in the swimming pool. Like I said, I'm taking all these wildflowers and all these seed packages of flowers, and I'm throwing them all into the swimming pool. Whatever grows, grows. And it has done amazing. Like the summer, it was full of flowers in there. And then I cut them all down for the fall time. And then I planted all these zinnias and marigolds, some sunflowers in there. And they're up. The pollinators are enjoying those. So, you know, yeah.
Awesome, awesome. I'm so excited about this. I'm excited for the 2024 goals. Like I'm trying to be excited for 2024, but not rush the end of 2023.
Right.
But I'm excited about the things I want to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Lori and Shelly are talking about this Black Girls Grow or Black Girls Garden meetup.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, we can't let them go along. Listen, I'm gonna give me a couple of friends if I decide to go. You understand me? And
Yeah.
everybody gonna know where I'm at because I was like,
Right.
well, and
Right.
then what the goal is to have people be present. I guess is the question,
Yeah. Yeah.
and also be able to delve in because everything's going to be hands on. And then the
Mm-hmm.
list of workshops that they want to have from, or talk about being I want to say herbalism, but talking about herbs.
Mm-hmm.
Your tinctures, your
Yeah.
talking about soil health, um
Mm-hmm.
and different things. There was like a list of like almost like 30 on the survey they sent out.
Oh
And I
wow.
was like, okay. So they want to, really have like classes,
Mm-hmm.
and the places will also have childcare available. So if you
Oh
had
wow.
children, then
Yeah.
they'll have activities for the kids. And I'm like, oh, so y'all really doing this big. Okay, we're gonna see. But then when
That's
I
good.
first saw that poll, I was like, no. I watch too many horror movies and
So
thrillers.
now is that in your area? Because I
It's a Facebook group that's national. And
okay.
then on Facebook now you can create so many chats for your group.
Mm-hmm.
And so they created a chat for each zone.
Okay.
And so you
See,
go
let
to
me
their zone.
write that.
Yeah,
Let me
it is.
write that on
Find the
down.
I'm gonna tell y'all the real name of the group because I join groups and I don't be having the real names. I don't. Let me tell you. And I'm not a flighty person. It's just my brain is only gonna go so much information. It just ain't. Black women who garden. Black women who garden.
And they a Facebook channel,
A Facebook group.
a
Yep.
group. Right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
maybe I can find some in my zone over here and see.
yeah, you might find some people in there. I didn't know it existed, so I was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool."
Okay.
So Cynthia, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for answering my email because I was like, she gotta have an email address on here somewhere. She doing content for brands. I know she got an email address on here. And I was like, let's see if she answered. And you answered. You was like, yeah, sure, why not? I don't know you, but I talk to you. I was like, I hope she go at least look at my channel, make sure I'm a real person.
I did.
I am people. I exist. But it's
Yes. And and usually, you be cautious because especially if you don't know a person, you're like, oh, okay. Because I didn't had people like hit me up like on Instagram and stuff and be like, hey, so and so. And I'm like, I don't know, you know. But I did check your channel out, and I was like, okay, this is a Christian lady, and I'm out, you know, as a Christian woman myself. I was like, all right, we gonna do this. So yes, ma'am.
Oh yeah, I
Yes,
was like, okay, well we just gonna put it out here, and I was just like, I was like her, I like your channel, and I was like,
thank
okay,
you.
and so we just wanna. I was like, well, I'm gonna stop having these great ideas and not doing anything. Let me just reach out. So I thank you for
Yeah.
replying. I thank you for being timely. Come on, bless God for the
Hey,
timeliness
hey,
of the people of color because it's a
thank you.
stereotype that is a misnomer.
Yeah.
Um, and so I just thank you for your bubbly personality. I pray that God blesses you with everything that you do. And
Thank
I'm just gonna
you.
close with my affirmation
All
and we're
right.
just gonna say good night. I just want you all to know that you're blessed. You are highly favored. You are the apple of God's eye. He is absolutely and
Mhm.
positively concerned about you. He thinks that you are the best thing since sliced bread. You can cast all your cares upon him and know that God cares for you and he loves you with an everlasting love. And there's nothing and no thing you can do about it. You all have a
Mhm.
wonderful, you all have a blessed day. And Lord, when we see y'all at the next garden chat, I don't know when it's gonna be, but we'll be here. Thank you, Queenies. Thank you, Shelly and Lori for coming on, and we'll see y'all later
Bye.
in the live stream.